Hey everybody, Dan here with painfreeyou.com. Today's topic is going to be, I need to get rid of this anxiety now. Alright, and so we'll get to that in a minute. It's a beautiful day, a little bit cool, mid-60s, little breeze. Look at this, everything's turning green. It's amazing. Just in about a week or two. It went from pretty stark to leaves everywhere. So I love it. Spring is here. Breathe with me. Breathe in the peace and exhale the chaos. Breathe in the calm and exhale the anxiety. Topic of the video. All right. So, people always ask me, how do I come up with these topics? Well, I interact with a lot of people. I read every single comment on YouTube and Facebook, reply to a lot of them, the ones that are question-based. I get a lot of emails. I interact with, I don't know, hundreds of people a week, probably, throughout the group coaching, Facebook, and YouTube. So I get inspired by a lot of questions or comments that I see. And so somebody was making a comment, I think on YouTube, and they were like, yeah, that would be fine, Dan, if it weren't for this anxiety. I need to get rid of this anxiety now. And it just kind of sparked the idea for this video. And here's my take on it. Anxiety has two aspects to it. There is absolutely a physical sensation of anxiety, right? Faster heart rate, shallower breathing, quicker breathing, could be heart flutters, palpitations, could be dizziness, vertigo, derealization, brain fog, could be any number of physical symptoms. But in my opinion, I believe a lot of that is just generated by two things. The presence of adrenaline and cortisol, and the brain creating these symptoms due to perceived danger. Okay? That's it. So now the other part of anxiety is our thinking. And when we start to feel these anxious, weird things, the heart flutters, the presence of adrenaline and cortisol, tractor boy, he has to cut some wood right now. So when we start to feel these physical sensations of anxiety, a lot of times what happens to the thinking? It gets faster and faster and faster. And as a result, what happens to the emotions? The fear goes up. The anxiety goes up, right? So when we view these anxious sensations and these anxious thoughts, and our response is fear-driven, like, I got to get rid of this now, we're basically adding fuel to that fire. We're creating more danger and more urgency to get rid of something now. But when we recognize that anxiety is a pattern of thinking and the physical response to perceived danger, which our thinking can perpetuate. So, what's the best approach? Accept, allow. I'm touching on the DARE response a little bit, but I've got my own version of that. And Barry McDonough and I are very much in sync with how to respond to anxiety in his world and perceived danger symptoms in my world. But in general, anxiety, I would love for you to be able to take an indifferent approach towards it. To say, whatever. So I'm feeling anxious. Why? Because even though it's uncomfortable, it is not dangerous. I've never read a single story of somebody who died from having a panic attack. Right? So why be extra emotionally fearful of anxiety? I know it's not comfortable. Nobody likes it. But the more uncomfortable you feel and the more fear and the more overthinking you do towards your anxiety, do you think it's going away? Or are you just pumping more stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. So really important. The best approach to anxiety is to not react to it, but instead to respond calmly, reassure yourself that, hey, this is just a passing phase. And instead of laying in bed thinking about your anxiety and how bad it's going to be all day, how about getting up and starting your day? Say, nah, it'll pass when it's ready to. I don't need to worry about it. It's a passing state. Stress hormones will dissipate when we stop pumping them with more fear, frustration, anger, worry, and panic. So sometimes the best thing to do is kind of picture anxiety as a wave that crashes on you at the beach. And sometimes a big wave will come along and it will crash you and tumble you. But guess what? Eventually that wave will let you up. So just view the anxiety as a passing wave. And sometimes it'll tumble you, but it always lets you up. You may end up on the beach, sandy, with sand in your hair and up your bathing suit, but the anxiety always lets you up. And so why panic about it? Why fuel the anxiety with more fear over the anxiety? We can literally give ourselves anxiety attacks trying to get rid of anxiety. And I'm not going to say it's a non-problem, because it is. Anxiety creates a heck of a lot of despair for a lot of people. But my take is, does it need to? I don't think it does. So, if you're the type who says, I don't like this anxiety and I gotta get rid of it now, it'll go away faster when you stop trying to push it away. When you just kind of allow it to pass over you like a wave at the beach. Disregard it as something that needs to be resolved. The bigger of a problem you make anxiety out to be, the bigger of a problem it is. So, that's what I got for you today. I love all of you, and I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.